Thank you very much for joining me today. Today I'd like to talk about my beautiful HJC Rpha 72. Now this is an helmet that I bought approximately November time last year, and I needed to replace my Rpha 12. I did a review on that helmet probably middle of the year last year, and beautiful helmet. And it wasn't until I got it out in the winter, after I'd slid on my face in my shoe berth, and I thought I'd just grab my full face and I'll use that until I can replace the shoe berth. And the first day I used it in the winter, the bottom vents fell out, just cracked and fell out. And I got in touch with Sports Bike Shop, which is where I purchased it from, and they were really good. The after sales and the customer care that Sports Bike Shop give is next level. And I sent the helmet back, they couldn't fix it, so it was a case of either replace it or refund me. I added some money to it, and because I'd bought the Rpha 12 in the sale, because of that colour scheme, and I'd paid 299 quid for that helmet. So this helmet, the Pacific one in this colour, was £420, so I put the extra money to it, and Sports Bike Shop sent me this one out. And I changed from the Rpha 12 to the 72 purely because, do I stick with the same helmet and maybe have the same problem? And I do like HJC, so I decided to go for the Rpha 72 purely because it's HJC's second generation sports touring helmet, and I like the idea of the internal goggles. I found that really useful on a day-to-day basis. Ideally I would like to get a dart visor for it as well, because I do like a dart visor. It came with a pin lock, so it's pin lock ready, and it came with the pin lock. So it comes in 3 shell sizes. For me it's a large. It comes with a very plush feeling liner that's fully removable to be washed. There is the goggle or spectacle channels in there if you wear glasses, and it's a beautiful light helmet. It weighs in at 1,450 grams, and it feels even lighter when it's on your head. It wasn't the most comfortable from the off on the first day, and I always have this problem with HJC. It always leaves me with a bit of a tender spot on the back of my head, but then once I broke it in, it's beautiful. It's a really comfortable, light, airy helmet. It's very quiet, which is why I also use it for my vlogging helmet, because it means I can go wireless with the DJI mic. And yeah, it's lovely, it's quiet. It's got a D-ring system on it. It also comes with the emergency removable cheek pads, which I think is quite a common sight in a lot of helmets these days, but it's nice to have. The internal goggles are nice and easy to operate, and for me they come down nice and low, right to the edge of the tip of my nose, which keeps a lot of the sunlight out but also lets a lot of the air in. Like I say, I would like to change the clear visor for a dark visor at some point. It's got the soft touch visor lock on it, which I also like. I find it very easy once you've worked out how to do it with your thumb on the go. Just one soft touch and it opens. The ventilation is very good. So I've done nearly 8,000 miles in this crash helmet now, and 6,000 miles of that is at high speed, and predominantly I've sat at 100 miles an hour for a constant speed on a bank track for an hour on, hour off, for 10 hours a day, so that's 5 hours riding. And for me to wear this for 5 hours at those speeds, it was beautiful. It left no pressure marks on my face, on my head. It was just light, my neck didn't feel fatigued, and yeah, it's a helmet I not only wear on the track, but I've now adapted to be my vlogging helmet and the helmet that I wear when I'm social riding. And I've got to say, I absolutely love it. It's just the perfect fit for me. It's got the golf sticker, which means you can use it on track. It's certified at ECE 2206, so it's the most up-to-date safety certification that any helmet can have. I just love the shape of this one. Aerodynamically, it just feels so nice. It doesn't give you any neck fatigue, even at the high speeds for me it's as nice as the Rpha 12, with the added bonus that it's got the internal goggles. I did add my comm system to it, and the first couple of days I had it, I'd actually just stuck my Cardo plate onto the helmet, and after a couple of days of high speed, that plate, the glue, had dislodged itself, and I nearly lost my comm system. So I purchased a bracket that's been 3D printed and made by a company called Rpha Hjc, and they pretty much make a bracket that your Cardo plate or your center plate goes onto, that attaches to the helmet, where the HJC internal comms would go. And it wasn't cheap, it was 45 quid, but I think it was 45 quid well spent, purely because I'm not going to lose my comms, and as you know, they're not cheap, and it's situated in the perfect place on the helmet. It's so easy and accessible to get to my comms, and so easy to fit and channel the wires through the actual Rpha Hjc bracket. So yeah, I couldn't recommend them enough. I'll put the link in the video below for the bracket for the Rpha Hjc website. I think when it comes to crash helmets, it's a hard one, you know, because what initially fits in the shop for the 5 minutes you try it on doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the most comfortable helmet once you start riding in it. So my best tip really is to spend a good 20-30 minutes walking around the shop with the helmet on that you're thinking about buying. And yeah, you might feel a bit of a plonker, but you know what? You might as well make the right choice and get the right fit first time round, rather than buying a helmet and wasting a lot of money because it just doesn't fit properly. So I find HJC is a good fit for my head shape, and there's plenty of helmets out there that I would love to wear, but I just can't get them to fit. Shark, Bell, none of those helmets, not one of them fits my bonds. So I've got a very oval shaped head, which is what we would call an Rpha head. You're either an Rpha head or a shoey head, and I'm definitely an Rpha head. HJC I found to be a really good quality helmet. Yes, I had a problem with the Rpha 12, and I asked the question, is this a common thing? And it had happened to nobody else at that point. So due to a really good customer service, they swapped the helmet, and I decided to stay with HJC, and I'm glad I did, because the Rpha 72 has been a really good, and continues to be a really good purchase for me when it comes to a full face touring sports helmet, and it's one I shall wear for many more miles, and I shall get another good couple of years out of it, that's for sure. So if the HJC Rpha 72 is a helmet that you've been thinking about, or you've looked at, or you've tried one on, and you just can't quite make your mind up, what I will say is you won't be disappointed. I think you get a lot of helmet for the money, you really do, especially when you weigh it up against other premium makes. Yes, I'm an Rpha head, and I'd love to be able to put an Rpha on my head, but I just can't justify the cost. And I think when it comes to a decent crash helmet, you really have to shop to your budget. And HJC, for me, now fill that middle ground, and that's about what I want to pay for an helmet. So I did pay £420 for this helmet last year. It's now come down to £399 across their range of colours in Sports Bike Shop. I have seen it at other retailers for as low as £360. I think even at £399, you're getting a lot of value for your money when it comes to this helmet. I like HJC helmets, I like the fit, I like the finish, and it's a comfortable helmet to wear. Like I say, I have to spend a long time in my working day in a crash helmet, and it's a beautiful place to be. So, as ever, thank you very much for joining me. Give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, help this little channel grow. Stay safe out there, never ride faster than your angel can fly.
Everybody sets himself free, living his best life.